morning world.
This morning, wasn't it?
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I got to a point where it was like eeny, meeny, miny, moe with that one.
Yeah. So you go to C, which is like life raft, but it would be device. So
How would a life raft turn an unconscious person upside down then?
well, it's more fun that if you've got a life jacket on, that yeah, so a life jacket will
Turn you around.
up.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've just got the buoyancy, yeah, it'll help you float, but it won't flip you in the water.
Yeah.
So does that mean that if you're leaving the boat and going into the life raft, you should have your life jacket on?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So it's got nothing to do with the life raft. The life raft's
No,
just
so
life
raft-
raft's just stealing the glory for the pressure, really, isn't it? You've already put your life jacket on.
What are the core regs? So let's see, which is international regulations for prevention of emissions at sea.
Yeah, I just thought that coal regs is abbreviated for,
Yeah. So you are right, technically.
but I needed
it
to
is.
chuck a few mates in there.
All of them. Yeah. You're right. So rules of the road, navigation rules.
Okay.
That's one of those.
Yeah, trick questions.
Yeah. This is rain dry and inside.
Oh, that one was my nemesis.
Oh, right. It is a dry suit.
Dry suit.
So now you put exposure. Blankets, foil, blankets. But yeah, a dry suit will zip up. Won't let the water in. So normally you have those big boots that do the passages.
Yeah. Where it's cold and stuff.
Yeah, it's normally on ones like that.
Woo.
You lower yourself over the side.
Yeah.
So you can put a dry suit on.
We had a perfect opportunity earlier to say that on the radio, didn't we? Barry, Barry, Barry. This is sandpiper, sandpiper, sandpiper. We fouled out. Catch, anchor, catch, anchor.
Something is the amount by which
they use current because it refers to both seaways and inland waterways. Yeah. Whereas obviously inland waterways don't have tides, but they have currents. Good morning everyone and welcome back to Sailing Kefalonia. It's day 6 and it's transfer day today, so we've just completed our 5 days on the boat with Maddie, our instructor, and you will all, I hope, be pleased to know that both Emily and I passed our final exam. Therefore we now have our ICC, which is our International Certificate of Competence, which means that we can now hire or charter or even buy our own sailing yacht and sail ourselves without the assistance of a skipper. So quite an exciting time for us. I haven't managed to capture much content while I've been sailing, and it's one thing that I've learned whilst sailing around Kefalonia, that it's actually very, very difficult indeed to capture content while you're sailing. I've got lots of photography, but actual commentary and trying to explain what we're doing, when we're doing it, has proved very, very difficult. So I'm going to make a big effort to nail that in my next series of videos about sailing around Kefalonia, qualifying as a skipper, and hopefully sharing with you all the highs and lows of spending 2 weeks living on a 36 and a 37 foot sailing yacht. So I'm in the back streets of Luxury and today is transfer day. We're leaving Luxury on the ferry across to Argostoli. We've got a short taxi transfer from the Argostoli ferry port to Sami, which is where we will be picking up our next boat, which is a Bavaria 37 cruiser, pretty much the same as what we have just completed our ICC qualification on. So shouldn't be any surprises there. But I'm currently looking for a electrical shop called Euronics. We need to get one of those cigarette charger things for USB, because you don't always have mains power. Basically on a sailing yacht you have your batteries just like on a car or a camper van, and you can't have those batteries charging millions and millions of devices at the same time. When you're in a harbour or a marina you can link up to shore power, but when you're on flotilla quite often you'll just anchor up in a little bay somewhere, and you have to be very, very careful with the amount of electricity that you use. Let me just show you around. So these are the back streets of Luxury. What a beautiful place. Kalimera. What a beautiful place. I could quite easily live here, to be honest, but we'll park that thought up for now. So I'm told that Euronics is just down here somewhere. Nice little Suzuki Jimny there just behind me. Something smells good. Kalimera. And I think I might just have found that. To me, my friends, looks like Euronics. So that is the electrical shop. So I'm going to head on in. In fact, I'm going to mask up and then head on in and see if I can find the little widget that we need to keep all our phones and iPads and various other electronic devices charged for the next few days, as Emily and I, newly qualified skippers, having just completed our ICC qualification, head off and sail around Kefalonia for a few more days. So I'll catch up with you all a bit later, guys, and mind how you go, okay? Take care. So, whew, that's hot. So the wearing of face coverings in Luxury and on the island of Kefalonia is generally still the law, and I've heard that the other evening the police were out and about in Luxury fining people up to €300 for not wearing face coverings in public places like shops and on public transport. But the good news is I've managed to get the charger that I wanted. I'm just trying to find my way back now to the main square. Anyway, how are we? I hope you're all well while I've been sailing and stressing my way around Kefalonia. Just get through this lovely little terrace. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so I think we'll head on up this way. So, I made reference to sailing and stressing around Kefalonia and the waters of Luxury. And what I mean by that is obtaining this qualification has meant an awful lot to me. Primera. I'm not, and I've probably said it before, I'm not a natural academic. I don't do well at theory stuff. I like practical, hands-on stuff. So the thought of having to take an exam to get a license that will allow me to sail my own boat has been playing quite heavily on my mind. So I'm in a good place today. Okay, we'll head on down here, and I think if we swing left we should come into the little square of Luxury. The back streets of Luxury are littered with little bars and cafes and restaurants and tavernas, barber shops as well, lots of barber shops. It's like a little crisscross of streets, crossroads everywhere with bikes and scooters coming at you from all directions. In fact, we're just coming out onto the harbour front now. I'll swing round. There we go. Behind me there is the eastern side, or the eastern mountains of Kefalonia. So in a nutshell, guys, what we will be doing today is taking the ferry from Luxury to Argostoli. It saves having to drive all around the mountains. It takes about half an hour on the ferry, and then we've got about a 40-minute taxi drive to Sami. So let's walk. In fact, let me cross over. This place behind me here, this lovely restaurant just located on the quayside, was where we had an amazing meal a few evenings ago. Beautiful traditional Greek food, most of the ingredients sourced or grown on the island. Service out of this world. 2 adults and 2 very, very hungry or greedy kids ate for around €60, and that includes drinks and cocktails. In fact, I've got to show you this, guys. Let me just bring you down here. Let me just bring you down here. You're going to love this. Are you ready to be blown away? I hope you are. Just look at that. If you're into sailing and if you're into boats, pardon the cheap related gag, but that will really float your boat. Anyway, you can tell I'm in a good mood today because I'm coming up with all sorts of lousy jokes. But tomorrow is going to be a mega day because we set off, Emily and I, Dylan, our son, and his friend Henry, we set off on our first flotilla as joint skippers of the boat. So all decision making on the boat as of tomorrow will be down to Emily and I as joint skippers. Could be interesting. Two quite strong personalities, very different opinions, but I'm sure we'll nail it. But anyway, the good news is I've got the widget that I need, retro, cigarette charger, USB, get everything charged overnight, ready for our adventures to begin again tomorrow. So my friends, I'm going to love and leave you there, and I'll see you all somewhere around the waterways of Kefalonia. What a lovely place. Just look at the colour of that sky. Hashtag no filters whatsoever. Dale, how are your pancakes? Are they better than your Greek English breakfast? Was the Greek English breakfast a bit of a fail? Let me have a look at those pancakes. Let's close up on those pancakes. Oh yeah, look at those bad boys. So this is the Luxury to Argostoli ferry. Foot passenger and vehicle, and how they load these vehicles on is a sight to behold. It's not particularly busy today, as you can see. Normally this ferry deck would be bumper to bumper with cars and vans and passengers. But it's a quiet day on the Luxury to Argostoli ferry this morning. So my friends, we're off. We're saying goodbye to Luxury. We're travelling across to Argostoli on a half-full ferry, which is something I haven't seen before. As I scan round, I'll drop down into the ferry deck so you can have a little look. memories, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. This is Argostoli, and the ferry that you can see just departing now is the ferry that took us across from Luxury. They don't hang around. These ferries turn around about every 10 or 15 minutes, or as soon as they're full to capacity. They also don't make any leeway for sailing vessels. The ferries stick to their course regardless. So as a skipper of a sailing yacht in the waters around Kefalonia, you need to be very, very aware of where these ferries are, because they do not move. Compared to Luxury, Argostoli is a bit of an attack on the senses. Just in front is the bus station. And in that direction, you'll find the main town centre of Argostoli. Also in that direction, Emily, my son Dylan and his best friend Henry have gone for a short stroll looking for the turtles that infamously reside in the Bay of Argostoli, with the ferries and the fishing boats and the sailing vessels. I must admit, if I was a turtle of Argostoli, I'd be looking for somewhere a little bit more peaceful to hang out. But I'm not. Watch you guys, and welcome back once again to Sailing Kefalonia. If you've just joined me at this stage, I'll spend a minute and about 30 seconds just telling you why we're here on the island of Kefalonia. Two reasons: immerse ourselves once again in the Greek culture, which Emily and I love so much. And the second reason is to complete our ICC Sailing Qualification. So if I haven't mentioned it already, I'll mention it once again, that Emily and I have now completed our ICC Sailing Qualification, and I hope that you will all be delighted to know that we both passed with flying colours. It was 5 days under the watchful eye of Maddie, our instructor, followed by our written exam. We're now in the ferry town or port town of Argostoli, and we've got about an hour transfer by taxi to Sami, where we will join the Sea Trek flotilla. Really exciting times. We're now trying to locate our taxi, which is going to transfer us from Argostoli to Sami, and apparently it's a red Mercedes. Both Emily and I, Emily more so, are now looking around trying to find our taxi. guys, if we go out for dinner
You like my
tomorrow,
water?
so if we go out for dinner tomorrow, Henry, what mustn't you do?
Be a show off.
And Dylan, what must you do?
Be a lemon.
Be a lemon.
And what else? Talk.
Thank you.